Today we're out here working in the shop. It's starting to get cold outside and we don't have a heater, so we're gonna buy one, but then we thought might try to build one. So I'm working on building a waste oil burner. I've seen them on YouTube on how to make them, so we're gonna try to make one of those and see if it'll heat this shop up a little bit. But right now I'm working on the burner that goes inside. So I'm gonna cut this piece out that I have marked and roll it up, and that'll make a ring. And then I'll cut out a circle to put in the bottom. That'll be the bottom of the burner, but we'll show you that when we get there. Here is the ring welded together. I kind of beat it into a rough circle. Now I'm gonna go cut out a circle that'll sit in the bottom of that out of the rest of this metal over here. Needs to have a diameter of about 7.6 inches. So we'll try to get one that's pretty close cut out and weld it into the bottom of that, and that'll help us make that other thing a better circle. Okay, here's the bottom of the burner all welded together. We got this piece here we just cut out of an old drive shaft, and it'll sit in there kind of like this after we cut a hole in the bottom for this to set through. This is what the air will be drawn through, so we'll drill holes in this for air to come through, and then we'll weld this through the bottom of the burner. And there will be a cap on top, so the air has to come in here and swirl around. Here's the burner. It's all welded together. We got this in here welded on the bottom. It's not straight, but we're just using this to see if this idea works. We've got the holes cut in it, and we angled them like that, so hopefully that'll make the air spin around in here and make a more aggressive burn for the oil. But that's what we got on the burner so far. Now we're working on the tank. What we got for a tank is a helium tank that we had sitting around, one of the ones for like a kid's birthday party, and we cut some holes in it for the door. And there's our shelf we built that the burner will sit on. We still have to cut a hole in the middle of that, and then we'll weld that on, so the burner will just sit in there, and then the air will go through this door up through the burner, spin around, and hopefully make a lot of heat. Okay, here is the stove with the burner in it. Got the doors cut. Got a little hole down there you can't really see that the bottom of the burner sits through. You get the light. There you go. You can see it up in there. Sits down through there. All we got to do now is we'll have to have a line coming in from the side for our oil to drip through, which will drip down in here while it's hot, and that should vaporize it and burn up. And then we'll have a barrel, a 55-gallon barrel we're going to put on the top of this that'll capture all the heat. Hopefully that'll work to heat up this shop a little bit. Here's what we got so far. Got this piece welded all the way around on that. Had to add a couple pieces where the gap was crooked. But yeah, now I'm going to work on building a stand to raise this thing up a little bit, because it's a little too close to the ground to be under there trying to light it and get the burner and stuff set in there. So that's what we're going to do now. Okay, here's the little stand I just threw together for it out of some 1-inch square tubing and some flat bar. Got it welded together. Now it's nice and solid, and it's up off the ground where you won't have to lay on the ground to get the burner and stuff in it, get it going. But it's not, it's a little crooked, but it holds it up. It keeps the weight off that little bit helium tank. So now we'll work on getting the pipe on the side for the flue to go onto. Okay, here's the stove. I set it outside to do some burning, just burning some trash in there to try to burn the paint off this barrel so it don't smoke when we fire it up inside, because it's smoking. You can't see it on the camera, but the barrel is smoking pretty good. I welded this little outlet on here, which is part of this old 5-inch stack, and then I just got an elbow on there right now, turning it up. It's not giving me the best suction from the bottom, but it's burning some cardboard and some a piece of a 2x4, but I mean, it's been burning for 5 minutes and we're up to 400 degrees almost. So it's putting out some heat, which is good. Once we get the oil in there, should be pretty nice. Working on the stove, got a hole cut in the side of the bottom half of where the burner's at. That's where our pipe is going to go in. I don't know if you can see because of the sun, but that's where our big pipe's going to go through. That'll have the copper pipe inside of it, which is where the oil will be. So we're going to get a piece cut out to cover this up, what we don't need, and we'll get that all welded in there. Okay, here is the pot underneath. We welded this piece on to strengthen up where we welded our pipe through. Now this outer pipe has air going through it that'll get sucked in right there, and then the oil will come in through this copper pipe, and there'll be a valve at the top of that where our bucket's going to be. This is just a little piece of sheet metal to hang it, to hold it up, and we notched the see if I can focus here. Notched the burner so that we could slide it in under the feed line and the air line. But that's where we're at now. Now we got to get the valves put on and our bucket plumbed up, and then we'll all just about be ready to test fire this thing and see how it works. Okay, we got it all plumbed up temporarily outside on a precarious stack of boards and barrels. Got our oil up here feeding through this valve, through this little hose. Here's our T. You're supposed to be able to see in there, but it's not really working the way we thought right now, so we'll probably end up putting another valve on top of that that's easier to adjust than just a ball valve. But she's burning real hot. It's not burning super clean right now because we don't have any sort of flue on it, but it's hot enough that you can't stand right next to it, so it's working pretty good. Right now we just have a 5-inch elbow off of a big truck sitting on there. Here in the middle of the barrel we're at 690 degrees. Top of the barrel is 627 degrees. Down here at the bottom of the door we're on 600, 650, wherever you go. So, but that's where we're at so far. It seems to work pretty good. Once we get a flue in the shop, we'll move it in here and see how it works. Okay, we're just now running out of fuel. We got the valve shut off up here. We probably burned, I don't know, half or 3/4 of a gallon. So we shut the valve off to let it burn out. It's putting out some real good heat. The barrel was staying about between 500 and 600 degrees while it was burning. Burned all the paint off finally, so we'll get it painted up. But that'll do it for this video. We'll update you once we get it in the shop and get the flue plumbed and see how it does. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Thanks.